Well, that was something. 33 points out of the Chicago Bears is not what anyone had expected, but that's how it comes to pass tonight in Foxborough. The New England Patriots getting better at 33-14. Interesting quarterback usage on the Patriots side of things, but on the other side, Justin Fields, 261 all-purpose yards, ran it in for a touchdown, threw it for a touchdown, 82 yards on 14 carries as Khalil Herbert and others split up that responsibility in the backfield, but it's the Bears surprising just about everybody as they came into this game 8.5-point underdogs, total sitting around 40. They almost got there on their own, and if not for a kneel down late in the game, they very well may have, as the Chicago Bears keep Bill Belichick stuck on win number 324. He will not pass Papa Bear here on Monday night. All right, let's dig into it with the two-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden. B-Mac, taking a look at the final score, the box score, the turnover ledger, any angle of this one. This is not what we had expected here. Bears' game plan was sound, and they executed it both offensively and defensively. I mean, who are these Chicago Bears, and what was your impression of them here on Monday night?
Well, I don't know who the Bears are, but the team that we saw tonight, that should be the team we see every game day. And with you being a Bears fan, I imagine you would agree with me with that statement. What we saw was a team that played inspired football. They played with a lot of energy. They were the more physical bunch on both sides of the football. And they just put the New England Patriots in bad situations on both sides of the football. I really love how they utilized Justin Fields, especially to start the ball game off, getting him out in space. They put him in bootleg type situations, and he was just able to make plays happen with his legs. And I'm okay with him leading the team from time to time in rushing because I think he's at his best. And defensively, I mean, I had concerns with Mac Jones making the start because I felt like he would be rusty. But man, the Bears made life extremely miserable for him. And then in comes the savior, right? Bailey Zappi. Started off with a few good big passes, and eventually the Bears made adjustments to make things difficult for Bailey as well. So this was the best complete ball game that we've seen from Chicago this season. Now let's see what's next for them moving forward.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Bears fans will enjoy this win, B-Mac. I want to get to Zappi and Jones here in a second, but let's talk about the quarterback on the other side who came in with his own question marks. That is Justin Fields. It seemed like the play calling was more akin to what he does well. Feels like Luke Getsy is starting to understand his quarterback and get him into a little bit of that flow. What did you make of the play calling here on the Chicago side, and how much of a factor do you think that was in tonight's win?
Yo, it was on point. I mean, he's at his best when he's in space. Get him outside the pocket, play actions, bootlegs. Allow him to have a two-way go in regards to throwing or running. And we saw success. We saw production, not just from Justin Fields, but the offense. They were able to benefit from the things that he was doing as well. And like you said, now we can see they're kind of understanding each other better, the play caller and the quarterback, because in the beginning of the season, they kind of tried to force Justin Fields to stay in the pocket. What we saw tonight, man, go out and just utilize your athleticism to the best of your ability and make things happen. And that's what he did. And I think that has to be the game plan moving forward when you talk about Justin Fields being able to develop and grow to be the player that they thought he would be when they invested that high draft pick in with him.
Very much put into a position to succeed here on Monday night. The quarterback situation on the other side. Is it Jones? Is it Zappi? Mac Jones does come into this game, starts the game, goes three and out interception, and quickly the boo birds and chants for Zappi rain down. The fans get what they want, and they hit a couple splash plays early on with Zappi. Two-pronged question here, B-Mac. Was it handled properly here on Monday night, and what's that conversation look like moving forward?
I don't think it was handled properly. I felt like Bailey Zappi probably should have got the start based on how well he performed the last few weeks, the last two starts he was able to make. And then, of course, Mac Jones, I felt like he was kind of rushed out there. He never looked comfortable. He never looked like he was 100% healthy, to say the least. And you can tell the rust that we saw from Mac Jones' first three series, all three and outs, along with an interception. Bailey Zappi, granted, it wasn't like he was blowing you away with his arm production, but in his two starts, he played real good football, and they had a chemistry, they had a rhythm. That was disrupted tonight when he didn't get the start. And then when he came in relief of Mac Jones, you're kind of asking him to bail them out, to say the least, and he's not that type of player. Granted, he gave them a nice spark here or there, but eventually the weight got too heavy for Bailey Zappi. So moving forward, they're in a tough situation because so far this season, when he was healthy, Mac Jones did not look like the Mac Jones we saw in his rookie campaign. And then in comes Bailey Zappi, a guy who was a rookie, third-round draft pick. He looked better than Mac Jones, to say the least. So I would insert the guy who's healthier. I would insert the guy who has a rhythm. And with that being said, it would be Bailey Zappi moving forward for this weekend for the Patriots, in my opinion.
Yeah, they got what looked like an easy one on the schedule prior to the season. No longer is, as they'll take a trip to East Rutherford, that is, to take on the New York Jets away from home. So another tough ball game that's out in front of them. We'll see what that quarterback situation looks like, and we probably won't know until somebody gets under center on Sunday, because Bill's not going to give us anything. If anything, he's going to use it to his advantage. Speaking of coaching advantages, coaches were sort of the storyline coming in as he looked to pass George Halas. Did Bill Belichick in this moment against Halas' storied franchise? It does not come to pass the way it was all drawn up. What'd you make of Bill Belichick and the coaching job he did tonight? Not just with Zappi and Jones, but it's always about winning the middle eight with this Patriots team. They looked terrible going into the break and coming out. Were you surprised at how little they responded here in the second half, the Patriots?
I was surprised to see how unprepared the Patriots were. I was surprised to see lack of adjustments, especially on the defensive side against Justin Fields. And I was surprised to see how passive they were. They were not the physical bunch. They got manhandled on both sides of the football. So that was something I did not expect to see. And we're talking about a team, Joe, let's keep it real. Like I said, you're a Bears fan, so you know exactly the ins and outs of the Chicago Bears through and through. This was an offense that was averaging 15 points per ball game. This was an offense that went into halftime, every ball game they played this season, down. They've never had a lead going into halftime until tonight's matchup. So this was an offense that wasn't able to do anything, home or away. But for some reason, they got everything jump-started tonight, and they just balled out. And that tells you how prepared they were going into this ball game, and that tells you the lack of preparation that we saw from the New England Patriots.
B-Mac, you allude to my fandom here, and I will tell you, seen plenty of Bears football in my day, and it always comes down to running the football and taking it away. The Bears defense did that 4 times. They ran it effectively, and it's a win on the road in Foxborough. B-Mac, thank you as always.
Yes, sir.
And for more Bryant McFadden, be sure to download and subscribe. All things covered, B-Mac and P2. Sitting down with some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment for can't-miss conversations week in and week out. Get it anywhere you get your podcasts and enjoy All Things Covered.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.